piece off an old exercise machine that I scrapped out. You can always find these exercise machines for free pretty much anywhere on the side of the road. No one likes to exercise, so they just give them away. Right now you can see that I'm adding a shock reinforcing bar here that goes between this shock mount to this bolt that I welded onto my axle. Now the way this is set up, with a lot of pressure, this setup can actually pivot because this is just bolted in one spot, so this will keep this stationary. I wasn't sure if that was gonna hold up or not. Turns out it's not gonna. So I'm adding that. Same thing on this side, but you can see on this side now, this side is a lot more important because the steering arm here rotates, and you can see right here that it actually rubbed. So I had to pound this in a little bit to get the angle a little bit less like this. And now again I'm just gonna add a bar from here to here to keep it in place so it can't rotate. It's pretty hard to rotate. You can't rotate it by hand. You gotta hit it pretty hard with the hammer, but eventually it will rotate just with the force of driving down the road and whatnot. So that's that. This is free. It's already got some holes drilled in it. Now I just gotta match up the holes and drill them a little bigger and bend it, and it'll be done. So that'll work. Free. Boy, that works way nicer than a cutoff wheel. So you can see I have this steering bar here with my new BILSTEIN steering stabilizers. Mounted them up. You can see I just made some spacers that space it so that these are mounted straight to my axle, so that these are straight and they don't bind. Without the spacer, this would have been tweaked like this, and it didn't really go in right. The bolts didn't go in right, obviously. So here's the steering rod. It's an unconventional steering rod because the dampener on my engine is actually so low that it rubs. It comes right down in this crevice here when it's all the way aired out in the front and aired all the way up in the back because of the angle. So I had to notch that out and then reinforce it. And this actually eliminated the death wobble 100%. And then I did put some new heims on the ends here. Even though they were new, they went bad right away, so I bought some better ones. Got a better heim right in here. Better Watts Link heims. I put these Watts Link in double shear, so now there's twice as much support there. Let's see what else. I had changed up this pitman arm. So before I had a slightly shorter pitman arm on there. And in order to try and eliminate the death wobble, I added a little bit longer pitman, and then I cut this and bent it and then tweaked it, kind of to get it a little odd shape. You might not be able to tell, but it is an odd shape, so that this bolt head will clear on these bolts. Added another support here for the steering box, eliminates flex, and now I have to actually reinforce this bent bar because obviously a bent bar isn't as strong as a straight bar, so I have to reinforce it. And this allows me to just turn my wheel all the way, and the wheel will actually contact the steering rod and the 4-link bars right at this point, so I get a maximum turn. If it's a straight bar, I wouldn't get full turn, so I did that. So I'm down here today beefing out my steering setup, and I thought of kind of a cool idea. So check this out. It's not done yet, but you can see that's my steering rod, and it looks like a sword now. It's kind of sweet. You can see that this had a curve in it. Ignore how nasty it looks on this side right now. I gotta clean it all up. But you can see there's a curve in this pipe so that the tire could turn. So what I did was I just put a reinforcing bar here so that this can't bend any further. And then I made this sort of a cover with the grip or with the handle, the protector, whatever the hell you want to call that. And then the handle here, which I'll wrap in either like a black vinyl or some sort of a wrap here, so it looks like a handle. And it works, and it adds a lot of strength because you have the strength of this sheet metal, or not sheet metal, I think it's about 11 gauge. And then you obviously have the strength of that tube, that square tube that I added on there with the skip welds in the center. So again, it's not perfect right now, it's not really that clean looking, but it will be when it's done. So that was pretty friggin' sweet. Let's throw it on there, I'll show you. And it's really not that much heavier. Kind of goes like that, just to give you an idea. And when you turn it, it does clear. You can see there's enough to fit. Ooh, that's hot. Enough to fit my fingers in between there. When you turn, it does move, but it never hits anything, so it's perfect. And then when the tire turns, obviously it's going to hit these 4-link bars and the steering rod. So I have this metal a little bit on this side of that so that it hits the rod and not the metal, so you don't cut a tire. Yeah, clean up the edges, finish it up, and it'll be pretty cool looking, I think. Bet you ain't never seen that before.